evening, and welcome to Back to School Night, virtual style. My name is Miss Reeses. It rhymes with Jesus. That's how I help people pronounce it. So I am the IB history teacher for year one and also year two for next year. So if you're familiar with Mr. Richard, he's the other IB teacher. We both kind of do a cycle. So he's on year two of the current cycle. Next year he'll be with the juniors, and I'll follow your students to the 12th grade as well. So I'll have them for the next 2 years, which is kind of exciting. This is my 13th year teaching, and I think it's my 11th year at BCC. And I was at Blair High School before that, and then a school in DC. So I obviously really like BCC because I've been here a while. And I taught AP World History for 10 years, and then last year, 2 years ago, was my first cycle at IB. So we finished their exams this past May, which was an unusual moment as well. You can see from my slide here that I have 2 kids. Talia is 4 and Everett is 7. He is in 2nd grade virtually, and she is actually the only one in the house who's going to be going to school in person, so she'll be at preschool. Unfortunately, your students have probably already met both of them because they have popped in this past week with various technical problems for my 7-year-old and just to say hi for my 4-year-old. In terms of how you can reach me, email is always best. Obviously, since we're not in school, reaching me on the phone is not really an option. So email is always best, and if we need to set up a phone call, we can do that. If you want to follow what's going on in class, that's going to be through my MCPS classroom. I'm going to assume that you know where to find that since your students have been able to come to class for the past 6 days. If you want to check your students' grade, my MCPS classroom has a tab on the left-hand side that says grades, and that's where they will be showing up. If your student begins to struggle, feel free to reach out to me, but also encourage them to come to those virtual check-in office hours on Wednesdays. I've posted some online review guides already, and I also offer some reassessment opportunities, so they should take advantage of those. The webcam isn't, oh, there we go. Totally blocking the screen here. So I think that about covers my frequently asked questions. Again, if you are looking for our most recent assignments or even our daily slides, I post them all under assignments, even if they're not graded. For example, like the slides are just something I use to present. They're not something students are graded on, but they're there. If you click on Zoom on the left-hand side of my MCPS classroom, you'll also see our class recordings. If your student misses a day, you can see my performance found there. All right, in terms of your grading, or my grading of your students, they are going to be posted, like I said, through my MCPS classroom, but just to be clear, I know sometimes it's a little hazy what these different symbols mean. An X would be an excused assignment, which means they do not have to make it up and it does not count towards their grade. A Z would be they can still turn it in for late credit. A 0 is no more submissions are allowed and it's going to stay a 0. A blank space means the assignment is turned in and I'm just still grading it. So I hope that clears up any confusion of those mysterious letters going forward. In terms of our class, what are we studying? This is an HL course, also known as higher level. The IB has its own lingo you'll probably notice as you go through your students' schedule tonight. For our class, we have, in the exam, there's going to be 3 papers. Each of those papers contains multiple essays the students will write. The subjects are on the screen in front of you. So we study the move to global war, which is basically the period between World War I and World War II with the rise of fascism. We study the authoritarian states. We study Hitler, Mussolini, Stalin, and Mao. We study World War I and World War II in great depth. And then we study some topics in Asia. Those are sort of our non-European topics, modernization and imperial decline in East Asia, and then the People's Republic of China. The last column there says internal assessment. This is a self-guided research paper that students will do senior year, so you don't have to worry about it just yet. And that will be sort of the focus of next year's back to school night. All right. One of the things that your students are going to find out about themselves in my class will be what part of the IB learner profile are they sort of most in tune with, and what areas of that profile do they want to better about themselves. So this is something that we talk about periodically throughout the year. You can ask your student how they feel about it so far. I already had students tell me straight away on the first day, like, oh, I'm very much an inquirer. I love asking questions in class. And so it's great to know that students are already of learner they are. That's definitely going to help them. That's about it. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to email, but I know you have other videos to watch tonight, so I'm going to wrap this up, and I look forward to seeing you maybe next year at Back to School.